Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Dyson. Today we're going to be talking about the Yautja, aka Predator weapons, starting with the wrist blades. Now as you can see on this Alpha Predator, the wrist blades were some of the first Predator weapons, starting with ones being made of bone and moving their way up to an alloy that's damn near indestructible and able to withstand xenomorph corrosive acid blood. These are the Predator's primary weapon for hunting. They can be very elongated and extended. Typically there are two wrist blades on a Predator's wrist, though bad blood berserker Predators do tend to have a singular elongated wrist blade, whereas Predators like Wolf carry the standard two wrist blades that extend out, retracting and extracting like a switchblade. Wolf was an elite, so he had very good weapons, and the City Hunter and Jungle Hunter did as well. Now as you can see, the wrist blades can come in different shapes and sizes, as I previously mentioned. The Feral Predator from the new Prey movie has less serrated and more curved hook-like wrist blades. They're very interesting in my opinion. Now of course these are close-range melee weapons used for stabbing, slashing, and cutting. They can even be shot out as a projectile weapon in some cases, especially with the Super Predator Bad Bloods. They often use their singular extended wrist blade to shoot out into a target. Now the wrist blades can even curve backwards to slice backwards. Dark from the game had very large wrist blades. Speaking of games, here are some of the weapons that the Yautja use in some of the popular Predator video games. Very interesting. Now of course the Plasma Caster or Plasma Blaster, aka Shoulder Cannon, has many variants. It is probably the most famous and one of the most devastating Predator weapons. It can even be used as a pistol. Usually they're shoulder mounted and they can blow right through somebody. The Energy Flechette is actually basically a Plasma Caster as seen here. It's an energy based weapon that's shot from the wrist. Now the Plasma Caster can be charged up so that it has a more powerful blast, and as I said, it can be converted into a plasma pistol as seen in Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Berserker and the other super predators from the Predators movie were seen to have an upgraded version of the Plasma Caster, more like a Gatling gun that could rapid fire. Now of course there are different versions and variations of the Plasma Blaster, as previously mentioned. It's typically aimed with a laser 3-dot red sight. Now, battle axes are often used in Predator Yautja society. They're some of the most effective killing weapons that the Yautja have. They're very dangerous and often able to cut a human right in half. Now, Plasma Casters have various designs, but they all seem to have the same function. Now, weapons like the Predator's glaive are more sword or machete-like. They're up close and personal stabbing slashing weapons. Now here you can see the smart disc, the glaive, the spear, all types of different weapons, and of course the Predator's self-destruct device. The wrist computer can be used to blow the Predator up. It's typically used to sacrifice the Predator if it's losing or if it has lost, and it will blow up like a nuclear bomb, sometimes even more powerful. Now the wrist blade of the Berserker Predator is one of my favorites. It's very elongated, it's serrated on one side, and has a long blade with a sharp, razor sharp edge. As mentioned before, some wrist blades can even curve backwards, and of course the wrist blades can be extended for more range in combat. They're very, very powerful weapons, simplistic but very dangerous. The Ultimate aka Assassin Predator had a mix of an Energy Flechette and a Plasma Caster in the shape of his wrist-mounted weapon. Now the Alpha Predator can use wrist blades made of bone, or as previously seen, he can use a sickle. He has many weapons, including a combi stick made of Amengi bones. His weapons are more simplistic and primitive because he was one of the first predators. Now the scythe is one of the lesser known predator weapons that can really get the job done. Typically used for hunting xenomorphs, this weapon can be bladed with either a metal or energy blade. It was popularized by the Hive Wars predator, who had different wrist blades as well. They were more curved and somewhat different in shape than the average wrist blades. The battle axe is similar to the scythe in some cases, but used a little differently. Now, of course, the bow of the Predator is similar to a man-made bow, but quite different and more powerful. It can also be compacted into a smaller version of itself for easy portability. These bows can have razor-sharp arrowheads on the arrows or even explosives attached. Typically, they're used by either male Yautja or sometimes even female Yautja. Earlier I mentioned the shuriken, which is a smart disc with large curved razor-sharp blades coming out of it. 6 long blades to be exact. Now this weapon can be thrown, making it a dangerous close and far-range weapon. Now we've talked about the glaive, there are many types, but we haven't yet talked about the combi stick, which is of course usually a telescoping, aka retracting / extracting spear-like weapon. It can be called a combi stick or a combi staff. It can also be thrown, but anyway, it's been your boy Dysum, and I'm outie.